Hello and welcome back. It's been a while since I read the Bible to you guys, but you know what? We're here. And hopefully everything is working. I have some background music. Mic's on. Yep, okay. So we're going to try and finish up Genesis here. So this will be Genesis 46 to 50, the end of Genesis, and then we'll be moving on to Exodus, which is about Moses and stuff. So, let's start, shall we? Jacob goes to Egypt. So Israel set out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke to Israel in a vision that night and said, "Jacob, Jacob." "Here I am," he replied. "I am God, the God of your father." He said, "Don't be afraid." Sorry. I blinked and missed my spot. "Don't be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. And Joseph's own hand will close your eyes." Basically, that means that he will die. At least this is how I picture it. We'll have to read on further to fully understand this. Gosh, dang it! Every video. Every video. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay. Basically, how I picture this is you have to think like back in those times. It was something that you wanted to die with your family. You wanted your children to be there with you as you died, just so you know that they were around. It's kind of like a big important thing. It says, and Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. Joseph is his favorite son, and that's just, I don't know. I guess back then it was kind of important to have a favorite or something. Everyone had a favorite back then. Nowadays, people still have favorites, but they're kind of like silent about it because they don't want to be rude or anything. So, I just brain farted, huh? Okay, I'm back. I took a break. Just had to figure out what I was doing. I woke up late, so my brain is not all the way there. Anyways, Jacob wanted his family to be there when he died. He was afraid that he wouldn't make it to Egypt or something. I don't know what was going on through his head, but it was something like that. Anyways, continues in verse 5, because I've been talking a bunch of nonsense because I can't think straight right now. Verse 5 says, "Then Jacob left Beersheba, and Israel's sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in the carts that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. So Jacob and all of his offspring went to Egypt, taking with them their livestock and their possessions they had acquired in Canaan. Jacob brought with them to Egypt his sons and his grandsons, and his daughters and his granddaughters, and all of his offspring. These are the names of the sons of Israel, Jacob and his descendants." Because if you remember, last video, is when he changed, when God changed Jacob's name to Israel, which is kind of why Israel is called Israel now. These are the names of the son of Israel who went to Egypt. Well, Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob. And the sons of Reuben were Hanok, Palu, Herzon, and Carmi. So, by the way, if you want some really cool names, name your children some of these. These are pretty cool. I don't know. I like Herzon. That's a pretty cool name. Anyways, sons of Simon. This would be his secondborn. It was Jemuel. Can you see this? Okay, just making sure I have my thing. Alright, anyways. Sons of Simon, or Jemuel, Yemen, which is pretty funny, because it's either Jamin or Yemen, and then Yemuel. because I know someone whose name is spelled like that, and it's Yemen. Anyways, Ohad, Jachin, or Yachin, I guess, Zohar, and Sahu, the sons of the Canaanite woman. Sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Sure, we'll go with that one. That's not how it's pronounced, but it's how I'm going to pronounce it, because I can't think of another way to pronounce it. The sons of Judah were Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. But and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. And then you have the sons of Perez, which is his son, or one of his sons, were Herzon and Hamul. Wait. This guy. Okay, so they have the same name. Hezron. Okay. The sons of Issachar was Tola, Pua. Don't know. Oh, it says Puva is another name. Jashub, or Lob, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun was Sered, Elon Musk, and Jehiel. These were the sons that Leah bore to Jacob in Paddan Aram, besides his daughter Dinah. The sons and daughters of his were 33 in all. The sons of Gad is Zephon, Haggai, Shuni, Esbon, Eri, Arodai, and Ireli. Again, probably not pronouncing this right. I'm American, so I don't know how people in those countries would have pronounced, because it's been years. Roughly 5,000 years. Anyways, sons of Asher are Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Bera. Got a theme going on there. And the sister was Sarah, or Sirah. The sons of Bera are Heber and Malachi. Malki. How do you? I don't know how to pronounce the IE. Nope, I can't think of any words off there. El. Michael. Michael. It's probably where the word Michael came from, or the name Michael came from. These were the children born to Jacob by Zilpah, whom Laban had given to his daughter Leah, 16 in all. The sons of Jacob's wife Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin in Egypt. Manasseh and Ephraim were born to Joseph by Asenath, daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Becher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Sure. Rosh, Muppim, Huppim. Okay, those are, I think, those better be twins. Or Ard. Man, old-timey names. Interesting. But see, Gera is a pretty good name. These were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob, 14 in all. The sons of Dan were Hushim. The sons of Naphtali was Jeziel, Gunner, Jezer, and Shalem. These were the sons born to Jacob by Bilhah, whom Laban had given to his daughter Rachel, 7 in all. All those who went to Egypt with Jacob, those who were his direct descendants, not counting his sons' wives, numbered 67 persons. Or 66 persons. I don't know why. Again, morning brain, I guess. With the 2 sons who had been born to Joseph in Egypt, the members of Jacob's family, which went into Egypt, were 70 in all. Now, Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to get directions to Goshen. When they arrived in the region of Goshen, Joseph had his chariot made ready and went to Goshen to meet his father Israel. As soon as Joseph appeared before him, he threw his arms around his father and wept for a long time. Israel said to Joseph, Now I am ready to die, since I have seen for myself that you are still alive." Then Joseph said to his brothers and his father's household, "I will go up and speak to Pharaoh, and I will say to him, my brothers and father's household, who are living in the who were living in the land of Canaan, have come to me. The men are shepherds, they tend the livestock, and they have brought along their flocks and herds and everything they own. When Pharaoh calls you in and asks, 'What is your occupation?' you should answer, 'Your servants have tended livestock from our boyhood on, just as our father did.' Then you should be allowed to settle in the region of Goshen, for all shepherds are detestable to the Egyptians." I don't know what that word means. Let me look it up. I read it wrong. It says detestable. I know what that word means. I'm just stupid. Genesis 47. Joseph went and told Pharaoh, "My father and brothers, with their flocks and herds and everything they own, have come from the land of Canaan and are now in Goshen." He chose 5 of his brothers and presented them before Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked the brothers, "What is your occupation?" "Your servants are shepherds," they replied, to Pharaoh, "just as our fathers were." They also said to him, "We have come here to live for a while, because the famine is severe in Canaan, and your servants' flocks have no pasture. So now, please let our servants settle in Goshen." Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Your father and your brothers have come to you, and the land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best part of the land. Let them live in Goshen. And if you know of any among them with special ability, put them in charge of my own livestock." Then Joseph brought his father Jacob in and presented him before Pharaoh. After Jacob blessed Pharaoh, Pharaoh asked him, "How old are you?" And Jacob replied to Pharaoh, "The years of my pilgrimage are 130. My years have been few and difficult, and they do not equal the years of the pilgrimage of my fathers." Then Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from his presence. So Joseph settled his father and his brothers in Egypt, and gave them property in the best part of the land, the district of Rames, as Pharaoh directed. Joseph also provided his father and his brothers and all of his household with food, according to the numbers of their children. Joseph and the famine. There was no food, however, in the whole region, because the famine was so severe. Both Egypt and Canaan wasted away because of the famine. Joseph collected all the money that was to be found in Egypt and Canaan in payment for the grain they were buying, and he brought it to Pharaoh's palace. When the money of the people of Egypt and Canaan was gone, all Egypt came to Joseph and said, "Give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? Our money is all gone." "Then bring your livestock," said Joseph. "I will sell your food in exchange for livestock, since your money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and he gave them food in exchange for their horses, their sheep, and goats. Sorry, I'll move my mouse over here. That way you can't see it. When that year was over, they came to him the following year and said, "We cannot hide from our lord the fact that since our money is gone and our livestock belongs to you, there is nothing left for our lord except our bodies and our land. Why should we perish before your eyes, we and our land as well? Buy us and our land in exchange for food, and we with our land will be in bondage to Pharaoh. Give us seed so that we may live and not die, and that the land may not become desolate." So Joseph bought all the land in Egypt for Pharaoh. The Egyptians, one and all, sold their fields because because the famine was too severe for them. The land became Pharaoh's, and Joseph reduced the people to servitude. from one end of Egypt to the other. However, he did not buy the land of the priests, because they have received a regular atonement from Pharaoh, and they had food enough from the atonement Pharaoh gave them. That is why they did not sell their land. Gosh. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out where the best place for my mouse is, because apparently I accidentally click all the time. Anyways, Joseph said to the people, "Now that I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh, here is seed for you so you can plant the ground. But when the crop comes in, give a fifth of it to Pharaoh, and the other 4/5 you may keep as seed for the fields, and as for food for yourselves and your household and your children." "You've saved our lives," they said. "May we find favor in the eyes of our Lord. We will be in the bondage to Pharaoh." So Joseph establishes it as a law concerning land in Egypt, still in force today, that a fifth of the produce belongs to Pharaoh. It was only the land of the priests that did not become Pharaoh's. Now the Israelites settled in Egypt in the region of Goshen. They acquired property there and were fruitful and increased greatly in number. Jacob lived in Egypt 17 years, and his years of his life were 147. When the time drew near for Israel to die, he called for his son Joseph and said to him, "If I had found favor in your eyes, put your hands under my thigh and promise that you will show me kindness and faithfulness. Do not bury me in Egypt, but when I rest with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me where they were buried." "I will do as you say," he said. "Swear to me," he said. Then Joseph swore to him, and Israel worshipped as he leaned on top of his staff. So that means he's dead. He's dead, and he's going back to where his fathers were buried. Sorry if you can hear me swallow. I apologize. I have a cup of coffee, but it's gone cold. Manasseh and Ephraim. I actually know someone named Ephraim. Anyways, sometime later, Joseph was told, "Your father is ill." So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, along with him. When Jacob was told, "Your son Joseph has come to you," Israel rallied his strength and sat up on the bed. Okay, he isn't dead yet, like I thought. Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and there he blessed me, and he said to me, 'I'm going to make you fruitful and increase your numbers, but I will make you a community of peoples, and I will give this land as an everlasting possession to your descendants after you. Now then, your two sons born to you in Egypt before I came to you here will be reckoned as mine. Ephraim and Manasseh will be mine, just as Reuben and Simon are mine. Any children born to you after them will be yours. In the territory they inherit will be reckoned under the names of their brothers. As I was returning from Padan, to my sorrow, Rachel died in the land of Canaan, while we were still on the way, a little distance from Ephrath. So I buried her there beside the road to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. When Israel saw the sons of Joseph, he asked, 'Who are these?' 'These are the sons God has given me here,' Joseph said to his father. Then Israel said, 'Bring them to me, so that I may bless them.' Now Israel's eyes were failing because of his old age, so he could hardly see. So Joseph brought his sons close to him, and his father kissed them and embraced them. Israel said to Joseph, 'I never expected to see your face again, and now God has allowed me to see your children too.' Then Joseph removed them from Israel's knees and bowed down with his face to the ground. And Joseph took both of them, Ephraim on his right towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh on the left towards Israel's right hand, and brought them close to him. But Israel reached out his right hand and put it on Ephraim's head, though he was the younger, and crossing his arms. He put his left hand on Manasseh's head, even though Manasseh was the firstborn. Then he blessed Joseph and said, "May the God before whom my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, walked faithfully, the God who has been my shepherd all my life to this day, the angel who has delivered me from all harm, may he bless these boys. May they be called by my name and the names of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, and may they increase greatly on the earth." When Joseph saw his father placing his right hand on Ephraim's head, he was displeased, so he took hold of his father's hand to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. Joseph said to him, "No, my father is the Joseph said to him, 'No, my father. This is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head.' But his father refused and said, 'I know, my son. I know. He too will become a great people, and he too will become a great nation. I don't know if that's better. Whatever. Sorry. I'm still trying to figure out the mass placement. Anyways. Nevertheless, his younger brother will become greater than he, and his descendants will become a group of nations. He's blessed them that day and said, 'In your name will Israel pronounce this blessing. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh.' So he put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, 'I'm about to die, but God will be with you and take you back to the land of your fathers. And to you I give one more ridge of land than your brothers, the ridge I took from the Amorites with my sword and bow.'" So that was pretty self-explanatory, if you ask me. It was just Jacob's father. Yes. What was his name? Joshua? I mean, it was Israel. Joseph removed them from Israel's need. Oh, no. Okay, so Jacob is Israel, and then Joseph is the dream guy. Okay, so I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Jacob was blessing Joseph's sons as his own. So he blessed the firstborn less than the newest or the youngest. Which back then, it's supposed to be like, if you think about like royalty, it's the heir to the throne is the firstborn. That's kind of how it is. That's like the easiest way for me to explain it. So in verse 49, we're so close to finishing Genesis, guys. Jacob blesses his sons. Then Jacob called for his sons and said, "Gather around so I can tell you what will happen to you in days to come. Assemble and listen, sons of Jacob. Listen to your father Israel. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the first sign of my strength, excelling in honor, excelling in power. Turbulent as the waters, you will no longer excel. For you went up on your father's bed onto my couch and defiled it." A couch. I didn't realize that word is that old. Interesting. "Simon and Levi are brothers. Their swords are weapons of violence. Let me not enter their council. Let me not join their assembly. For they have killed men in their anger, and hamstrung oxen as they pleased." I don't know what that verb means, hamstrung. "Cursed be their anger so fierce, and their fury so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel. Judah, your brothers will praise you, and your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons. Your brothers? Father's sons will bow down to you. You are a lion's cub, Judah. You return from the prey, my son. Like a lion he crouches and lies down like a lioness. Who dares to rouse him? The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he to whom it belongs shall come, and the obedience of the nations shall be his. He will tether his donkey to a vine, his colt to the choicest branch. He will wash his garments in wine, his robes in the blood of grapes. His eyes will be darker than wine, his teeth whiter than milk. I wish my teeth were whiter than milk. Zebulun will live by the seashore and become a haven for ships. His borders will extend towards Sion. Issachar was a raw-boned donkey. What does that mean? Does that say? Or a strong donkey. Okay. Lying down among the sheep pens, or the campfires, or the saddlebags. I don't know. Campfires makes more sense in my opinion. Sorry. When he sees how good is his resting place and how pleasant is his land, he will bend his shoulder to the burden and submit to forced labor. Dan will provide justice for his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan will be a snake on the roadside, a viper along the path, that bites the horse's heels, so that its rider tumbles backwards. I look for your deliverance, Lord. Gad will be attacked by a band of raiders, but he will attack them at their heels. Asher's food will be rich. He will provide delicacies fit for a king. Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns. Joseph is a fruitful vine near a spring, whose branches climb over a wall. With bitterness, archers attacked him as they shot at him with hostility. But his bow remained steady, his strong arms laid limber. Because of the hand of the mighty one of Jacob, because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, because of the Father's God, who helps you because of the Almighty, who blesses you with blessings of the skies above, blessings of the deep springs below, blessings of the breast and womb. And your father's blessings are greater than the blessings of the ancient mountains, than the bounties of the old age hills. Let all these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he devours the prey. In the evening he divides the plunder. These are all 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what the Father said to them when he blessed them, giving each the blessing appropriate to him. The death of Jacob. So this is when he finally dies. So he had like 2 chapters ahead of him. Or, yeah, 1.5, something like that. The death of Jacob. Then he gave them these instructions. I am about to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave in the fields of Ephron the Hittite. The cave in the field of Machpelah, near Mamre in Canaan, which Abraham bought along with the fields as a burial place from Ephron the Hittite. There, Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried. There, Isaac and his wife Rebekah were buried. And there, I buried Leah. The fields and the cave in it were bought from the Hittites. When Jacob had finished giving instructions to his sons, he drew up his feet into the bed, breathed his last, and was gathered to his people. So I find it kind of interesting how these people kind of know that they're going to die, which means they know it's coming, so they're straining everything so that they can get everything that they need done before they pass. So, I don't know, you just got to think of how much willpower that they had. Because he sat up. He was in a laying position, already weak, and already people said that he was going to die. Sorry for the voice crack. People said he was going to die. But he sat up with what strength he had left. Blessed Joseph's sons as his own, and then blessed all of his sons. And after that, he, with what little strength he had left from all of that, he picked up his feet, laid back down, and died. Pretty interesting to me. I don't know, not really many people do that anymore. They kind of just lay in bed, or unfortunately, and just die without realizing it. I wonder if there are still people who know that they're going to die. Not like the whole hypochondriac, ooh, I'm gonna die type of thing. But like they actually know that they're going to die. I know, it feels like it's a thing that has been lost over time. And this is the last chapter of Genesis. We are at the end. It took me so long to get here. But nonetheless. Joseph threw himself on his father and wept over him and kissed him. Then Joseph directed the physicians in his service to embalm his father Israel. So the physicians embalmed him, taking a full 40 days, for that was the time required for embalming. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. Which makes me think, was that 70 days after his death or 70 days after his embalming? So was it a total of 70 days or was it 110? I don't know. When the days of mourning had passed, Joseph said to Pharaoh's court, "If I have found favor in your eyes, speak to Pharaoh for me. Tell him, my father made me swear an oath and said, I am about to die. Bury me in the tomb I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now let me go up and bury my father, then I will return." Pharaoh said, "Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear to do." So Joseph went up and buried his father, and Pharaoh's officials accompanied him, the dignitaries of his court and all the dignitaries of Egypt, besides all the members of Joseph's household and his brothers and all those belonging to his father's household. Only their children and their flocks and herds were left in Goshen. Chariots and horsemen also went up with him. It was a very large company. Does it say how many? Nope. Okay. When they reached the threshing floor of Atad near the Jordan, they lamented loudly and bitterly, and there Joseph observed a 7-day period of mourning for his father. When the Canaanites who lived there saw the mourning at the threshold floor at Atad, they said, "The Egyptians are holding a solemn ceremony of mourning." That is why that place near the Jordan is called Abel Mizram, mourning of the Egyptians. Not like sun comes up tomorrow morning. It's the I'm gonna miss you, Dad, morning type of thing. So Jacob's sons did as he commanded them. They carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave in the field of Machpelah, Machpelah, near Mamre, which Abraham bought along the field. You know what? We're gonna figure out how to pronounce that. All right. Machpelah. Okay, finally. The field of Machpelah near Mamre, which Abraham had bought along with the fields as a burial place from Ephraim the Hittite. After burying his father, Joseph returned to Egypt together with his brothers and the others who had gone with him to bury his father. Joseph reassures his brothers. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrongs we did to him?" So they sent word to Joseph saying, "Your father left these instructions before he died. This is what you are to say to Joseph. I ask you to forgive your brothers the sins and the wrongs that they have committed in threatening you so badly. Now please forgive the sins of your servants and of the God of your father." When their message came to him, Joseph wept. His brothers then came and threw themselves down before him. "We are your slaves," they said. But Joseph said to them, "Do not be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, saving the saving of many lives." I could have said it the way I was going to. "So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. The death of Joseph. Joseph stayed in Egypt along with all his father's family. He lived 110 years and saw the third generation of Ephraim's children. They all I think I gotta take another break. Alright, coffee finished, brain not really refreshed, but we're here. Also, the children of Machir, son of Manasseh, were placed at birth on Joseph's knees. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "I am about to die, but God will surely come to your aid, then take you up out of this land to the land he promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." And Joseph made the Israelites swear an oath and said, "God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place." So then Joseph died at the age of 110, and after they embalmed him, he was placed in a coffin in Egypt. So he wasn't buried with all of the rest of his family, which is, I don't know, kind of sad, I guess. But I don't know. I guess he spent most of his years in Egypt, so I don't know, because he was only, 20-something when he was first sold as a slave? And then, I don't know, 5 years, nope. Maybe. I would say 5 to 10 years later, he ended up becoming the Pharaoh's first in command, equal to Pharaoh in everything except by name. So, yeah, that is the end of this. If everything goes right, I should have another video after this, kind of like a sermon-y thing that I did last week. But, yeah, God bless you all, and peace, outro.